Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on a N'Zoth Shaman deck created by the popular professional player Purple. Purple, in my opinion, is one of the best Hearthstone players out there, and this is his new take on Shaman that's certainly not an aggro Shaman, not even a mid-range Shaman. This is very much a late-game oriented control-style Shaman that really capitalizes synergies between N'Zoth, various Death Rattle minions, and even Ancestral Spirit to essentially double you up on a number of your Death Rattle minions, so you can actually get like 2 Sylvanas back when you play N'Zoth. So the idea with this deck, as you might imagine, as with most control decks, essentially is to stay up with the board in the early game, make sure your opponent doesn't just overwhelm you, so you have a lot of board clears with things like Lightning Storm, even Elemental Destructions as well, plus just removal spells like Lightning Bolt, Lava Shock, Storm Crack, etc. So lots of ways to address your enemy board. You have healing with Healing Wave and even Halaziel the Ascended. So all that will help you keep up from prevent you from falling behind too early to crazy boards and then actually recovering some health as well. And you also have taunts in this deck to help you stabilize even in the mid game with Earth Elemental. It has a very punishing overload, but there are Lava Shocks in this deck to help you counter that overload a little bit. You also have Chill Maw as a late game taunt, and that one might look a little abnormal or unusual since there are no other dragons in this deck. So there's absolutely no way that this Death Rattle actually goes off because you're not running dragons in the list. It's simply a Death Rattle taunt, which is important. It's the only one that's good that's available in standard format. So when you play that N'Zoth, you actually do get a taunt back as well, which sounds kind of unimportant, but it's actually vital because in many cases when you play N'Zoth, your opponent might just be able to ignore your board and hit you in the face and kill you. But Chill Maw forces them to have to react to a taunt on the same turn you play your N'Zoth, which means that when you do play that N'Zoth, you get the Chill Maw, you get the Cairn, you get the Sylvanas. They hopefully aren't able to kill you, and then you're able to leverage that board to just push back and just win the game, right? So Chill Maw is vital despite lacking any actual dragon synergies and not being very good as a 7-mana 6/6 taunt. But anyway, back to the list in general. You've got removal from Hex, you've got all those mid-game taunts, you've got Faceless Manipulators to even help you copy any cards that are important so you can get 2 Sylvanas Windrunners that both have Ancestral Spirit, killing 4 Sylvanases at some point, which gives you 4 Sylvanases back when your N'Zoth is actually played. Now those are like the dream scenarios. Those don't always happen. Many times this deck just wins on late game value, just dropping threat after threat after threat that your opponents can't answer and then just pushing back for the win. So N'Zoth will win you games, but it's not the only win condition. Sometimes just playing big stuff over and over again is often enough. So this is the list that Purple put together. It's pretty crazy. It's very unique. It's super greedy and powerful, and I think I've talked about it enough. What I really want to do is just take this list out onto the ranked ladder, so let's do exactly that. Let's play the N'Zoth Shaman on the ranked ladder and see how it goes. I have been playing this deck a little bit on the ranked ladder already, and it's been going well. I've been lucky to line up against a lot of super greedy late game control decks. I even played against a mage that got a very early Elise Starseeker Golden Monkey, so she was just playing legendary after legendary, and we were still able to win just because this deck has a lot of great removal, and we stole some stuff with Sylvanas. It's so downright powerful. So the mulligan with this deck is actually kind of tricky, right? You don't have very many early game cards, you don't have any early game minions, so you can't like mulligan into minions. So in my opinion, you're looking for things like Lightning Bolt that might help you kill like an early Flame Imp, for instance. You're looking for Farsight to help you draw a card, because there isn't a lot of card draw in this deck. Not only draw a card, but reduce its cost, hoping to make like a really big tempo play, like getting an early Cairn or something, right? So this is exactly what I described. So in the mulligan, I'm looking for Farsights, I'm looking for Lightning Bolt, I'm looking for Lightning Storm as well, depending on the class I'm playing. Like against a Zoo Warlock, it's going to be fantastic. So I definitely would have kept a Lightning Storm if I had that option. Unfortunately, the Lightning Bolt did overload us, so it's going to be hard for us to make a play here. We could coin out a Totem, but the Totem won't threaten the Flame Imp. The only advantage to the Totem is really getting out a thing from below a tad earlier. I think I'm just going to save the coin for now, and we'll probably just Farsight next turn unless we see like a really nice Lightning Storm or something. Probably got like an Imp King boss, so we won't have a good answer for that. Direwolf Alpha's not that bad. Lightning Storm would address this board pretty quickly. So would Lava Shock, another Lightning Bolt. A lot of options. So that's a little slow. Let's just go ahead and Farsight and let's see what we get. Elemental Destruction is fantastic, particularly when it's free. I don't have to do it yet. I can wait another turn. We do have the Healing Wave, so we can afford to take a little bit of damage. We're also very likely to win the Healing Wave battle. So that's probably worth Elemental Destructioning. It is going to overload us 5, which is kind of insane. We could Elemental Destruction, but we can't really do much else this turn. We could Healing Wave already. We can't coin anything out, though. So part of me wonders if we shouldn't just cast this Elemental Destruction. But we do honestly need the heal already. Next turn, we're not going to be able to do much. If we drew the Lava Shock, we couldn't even coin it out. So just not a great turn here. Chill Maul is not open yet, but I don't think I can take 13 damage plus whatever he plays, because there's just a chance I'm dead to like double Power Overwhelming. So we'll just go ahead and Elemental Destruction, and we'll heal ourselves. 14 is obviously a little better, but it doesn't matter that much just because 11's all we're going to get. So the difference between 11 and 7 is big, but not like life-ending. So next turn we can basically do nothing. So hopefully he has a pretty weak turn. At least a low damage turn, and I think it looks like he will. Plus we have the other Elemental Destruction, so eventually we're just going to wipe his board again. We can likely coin out a Cairn at some point, or I guess we won't even need to coin it out. We'll probably just play a Cairn the following turn. He's really debating this, man. So he definitely knows we're not your everyday average mid-range Shaman at this point, since we've cast an Elemental Destruction. That's not a common card to see. Lightning Storm would be pretty good here. Not that we have the mana. Oh, cool. Elemental Destruction is kind of overkill against Zoo in many ways. So we'll just end our turn, since there's literally nothing we can do. We could coin the Chill Maul. We could Lightning Storm this turn. We could Elemental Destruction again. Let's just see what he does. I think he's very scared to commit to the board, as he probably rightfully should be. So the Imp King boss. We actually have double Lightning Storm. That's kind of intriguing, right? It would likely leave one Imp behind, but absolutely clear everything else. Is that worth it at this point, or should we just play something like Cairn? Or even a Sylvanas? Sylvanas would be good into a future Elemental Destruction. She could very likely steal any big things that he plays. Unfortunately, she won't do much in the meantime. So we're going to go ahead and play Sylvanas, I think. Could also Chill Maul, just because it will scare him to death. And he'll likely trade everything in. This is actually a tough turn. He won't use Power Overwhelming against Chill Maul, because he'll be very worried that it's going to activate. And it will just kill all his stuff anyway. So he's going to send in these 4 minions probably. Maybe the Imp King boss. Maybe he'll leave his taunts up. That's totally fine. If it eats 4 or 5 minions, then it has definitely met its goals. See, that's a really... He maybe knows the list, but that is such a risky play. What if we'd wiped his board? Like, he would have sacrificed 3 minions unnecessarily there. That just feels bad to me. But he apparently knew what was up. He called our bluff pretty well. So N'Zoth is looking enticing already. Elemental Destruction into Lightning Storm is crazy. It clears the board, but I don't know. It's not that good. I wish we could Elemental Destruction and play something like Sylvanas. So it looks like he has a big board, but it's only 8 damage. We take 8. Double Power Overwhelming is another 8. We'd still be alive, but I don't know that we can afford not to clear, or at least not to address this board. Leave 2 imps out. We could hero power and let's see what we get. Next turn, overload 5 would leave us with 3 mana, so we could actually cast another lightning storm next turn. I think that's probably the best line here. That didn't actually matter, but it's still pretty cool. I guess I actually goofed. Why did I don't know why I hero powered first. I'm really dumb. I was thinking this was lightning storm that doesn't hurt our own minions, but clearly that was an error. That does not die to lightning storm. That's like the one thing we didn't account for here. And actually lightning storm gives it extra damage. I'll probably just hero power here. We can Halazeel lightning storm next turn for a lot of heals, so I'm not super worried about being dead. We'd have 2 more health if I hadn't goofed, because he would have killed the spell damage totem. Much like he's killing this totem. Warp Coil, it's intriguing. So yeah, we'll probably just Halazeel double. We can't double lightning storm, but we can Halazeel lightning storm. It's not great against this board, but it's going to heal so much that it'll buy us some time. And it'll set up for a nice lightning storm in future turns. A lightning bolt or something would be good too, but we'll just do this for now. It's going to clear a lot of stuff, but it's also going to buff the attack of this a fair bit. I need that to hit a 3. Yeah, nice, it did. Cool. So yeah, this gets buffed a fair bit. He can trade, but that's actually fine if he trades. I'm more worried about face damage than minions, because we do have stuff like the Earth Elemental coming still. We could even N'Zoth next turn. It sounds like not super greedy, but just to get the 6/6 taunt could totally shut him out of the game. We'll see what happens, because Lightning Storm might make sense again. But I think we want to save the Lightning Storm. Whoa! That is not a card you see very often. Particularly in Zoo Warlock. What? Why is he running Sylvanas? I don't really care. It's just crazy. So we can Hex, Lightning Storm, Hero Power. That's pretty fine. Just I don't normally want to use that Lightning Storm, but that guy has 7 attack, and that's insanely scary. So it felt like it needed to be addressed. Next turn, we're Overload 2, so Earth Elemental Thing from below is going to feel really nice. Especially since we know his Sylvanas is gone. Like, what? I goofed it. I killed my own totem, though, so what can I say? I'm clearly not the better player. He's down to 13. Like, man, we have ways to actually do damage, right? We can... He's down to 11. He just keeps going for it. This is going to be a really nice... taunt wall here. We could also just give our Earth Elemental Ancestral Spirit so that when he kills one, he's got to deal with the other. I kind of like that better. This loses the N'Zoth synergies and stuff, but it just makes this thing an absolute nightmare. I don't think he's running a silence effect. I mean, although his zoo is teched out with Sylvanas, so who knows? Maybe he is running a silence effect. If he keeps life tapping, he's going to kill himself very soon, which is nice. Even if he gets through these 2 taunts, I may just N'Zoth for another 6/6 taunt, and I think that point will shut him out. I mean, he may have like a Leroy or Doom Guards or Sea Giants. He's probably got some bigger cards coming, but I don't know. We haven't seen him yet. Maybe Sylvanas is like his finisher. It seems odd. Power Overwhelming. It's interesting. We use the Divine Shield. So he's got to do this twice. What is that? Soulfire. He's actually going to clear. But look what state his board is in, right? It's pretty rough. That's not a kill. I'll probably just Cairn Thing from below instead of... Oh, I don't have the mana for that. I guess I'll just Cairn. He can clear my taunt, but I don't think we're going to die. I'm trying to set up a lethal with really any minion. It doesn't matter, but... What did we overload on? Oh, we're overloaded from the Earth Elemental, of course. Yeah, so we have lethal on the board. This is the stickiest of all the things I could have played. And I figured he's going to life tap, so we have 7. And playing a 5 attack minion wouldn't have mattered because it would have only been 8 if he didn't life tap. So that was the most obvious route to lethal next turn. And I wasn't worried about dying, so we didn't need to play the taunt. So, okay. A little mistake in that game, but still a pretty easy win, honestly. Just because our ridiculous healing. Basically, we healed... I don't even know what we healed off Halazeel. It was a lot. It was, what, 4 plus 4... It was like 8, 11 plus 3. It was like 14, something around there. So on like 6 minions. Okay, so I don't think we need to keep the Hex against Warrior right now. It's really a pretty good card against Warrior. I guess I kept it. I meant to click off of it. Either way, it's fine. It depends on what kind of Warrior it is. If it's Control Warrior and we know we're going to need to deal something later, it's really quite fine. Against Warrior, we're probably going to totem a lot just to get our thing from below is cheaper. Although, nope, this is an aggressive Warrior. So I might go ahead and coin out the Farsight here. Just to hopefully get a minion that I can play next turn that contests that. I did not. But Healing Wave's okay too against an aggressive Warrior. So, astonishing. Yeah, we definitely revealed our hand here. He knows that we're not a normal Shaman with the Farsight. Fireworks, okay, it's fine. He did not attack. Like, why couldn't we have gotten the Emperor off the... That would have been amazing. So we can't kill this thing. It's so annoying. It may last forever. I mean, we'll eventually get Lightning Storm or something, right? But right now, it's lasting forever. That thing's scary. We can Hex that. Can't Lightning Bolt it unless we get the right Hero Power Totem, and I don't know that we will, and if we cast this, we won't have enough to Hex, so I'm just probably going to Hex that. It's an aggressive Warrior, so this might literally be the best Hex target. He could maybe run, like, Bloodhoofs or, you know, Korkrons, but all that stuff dies to Lightning Bolt and other things, so... I think that's probably my favorite Hex target in the deck. Halzeel's going to be great. We'll save that. I really don't have a minion to play, though. It's kind of sad. I don't even need a Lava Shock. I guess I just have to Hero Power this turn. It's a little unfortunate. That's actually a good Hero Power just because it denies some damage. There's really no incentive for me to kill the frog just yet. Probably will Emperor next turn. Just because it reduces a lot of good stuff like Halazeel and damage, so that's big heals. Yeah, let's just Emperor. He may feel compelled to kill it, which he probably should. Just a really good Emperor hand. He's saving this weapon forever, so he clearly has Pirate synergy where he's going to buff this weapon, which is scary. But he may be forced to use at least one charge, or he may buff it to a 5 attack and kill Emperor outright with the Fiery War Axe here. So this is starting to look a little more like a Tempo Warrior based on these plays. Ooh, Lightning Storm would feel so good. That is like the best Lightning Storm board ever. Give me a Lightning Storm. No Lightning Storm yet. Jeez Louise. I can Chill Maw, Ancestral Spirit, Chill Maw. It's pretty good to get 2 Chill Maws here. Because our N'Zoth is going to summon 2 6/6 taunts, and we're not that far from N'Zoth already. So it has a good chance of shutting him out. Plus, he may be scared that this activates, right? He doesn't know yet. So he may just trade everything in when he should probably use his face. Especially when there's 2. Like, he just doesn't know. And thankfully, it's a pretty awkward trade. He probably has an Execute up there, but he already used 2 Blood to Ichor, so I don't know that he has an easy activator. He may just have to use a minion. Yeah, so he's scared. Little does he know. Otherwise, he would have made a different play. So he may execute this one. Face, execute. But our N'Zoth is going to be so insanely good. Alexstrasza's champion face. Man, that is a sick play. Like, we just made him waste half of his resources And he's having a... Is that his whole turn? Oh my gosh, what a terrible turn. Wow. So I'm going to actually Cairn here instead of Thing from Below. I could Hero Power Thing from Below for 5, but there's not much else to do. So Cairn Hero Power gets me another Death Rattle started for an even bigger N'Zoth turn. I'm not worried about dying yet because I clearly have a ton of heals. I have like 5 from Halaziel and potentially 7 or 14 here. I think this game is locked up, honestly. I don't know how we could win. He might run Brawls, I guess. That's a possibility. But I don't know. I don't think he does. Elemental Destruction's great with Halaziel, I guess. But I'm probably going to Halaziel if I get a Spell Power Totem here. Let's just see what we get. We got a 1/3 chance. No, we got the taunt. Because I want to kill this thing, right? Like, it's super annoying. Probably just Thing from Below. And I'll actually Lava Shock that frog. It's annoying, but it gives me my Death Rattle for N'Zoth next turn. It clears the minion, obviously. I could Healing Wave, but honestly, I don't know. Hopefully, if he does run Brawls, this is the turn he decides to Brawl. I just don't know if he runs a Brawl. So really, his deck it's clearly Tempo Warrior. I thought it was aggressive with the Alexstrasza's and the... I can't imagine he runs Brawl, right? There's just no way. Does he run Brawl? I don't think he runs Brawl, right? There's just no way. I guess we don't have to... We don't actually have to N'Zoth yet, right? We could try to win and bait out a Brawl. Like, copy this. Cast Halaziel Lightning Bolt. And trade here. It's going to heal back up to 2, so it gets out of like Whirlwind range and stuff. We healed a little ourselves. If this doesn't bait out a Brawl, I don't know what does. But I don't think he runs Brawl. Tempo Warrior probably is not running Brawl, but his list felt a little weird. Like Nefarian. What? This is like Dragon Warrior, basically. Mid-range Dragon Warrior, basically. It feels like. What's that going to be? Restore a minion to health. Oh, Primal Fusion. What? That's not... That's not going to do it. Yeah, he chose death. Yeah, he was falling pretty far behind there. We had the Hex as the easy answer there, so... Alright, let's keep going. Let's play at least one more. This deck's pretty crazy, right? Like, it's good, clearly. Purple made it. Purple's an amazing player. Purple of Archon fame, and Amaz and all those guys. Really great deck designer and fantastic player. So I know it's good, it just doesn't feel like it should be because it's so greedy. But honestly, it seems to be working out. I've played before, played quite a few games of this before recording as well, and it just went really swimmingly the entire time. So we'll keep these essentially removal spells. If this is Freeze Mage, we might run into some trouble. Who knows? Because we don't really have like aggressive early game. Like we may never find the damage we need. Plus, all this removal is useless against Freeze Mage. It's like Tempo Mage. This is obviously really good against Flame Wakers. And we have some stuff to do. So hopefully, it's more Tempo than Freeze. And it probably is. Most likely, it's Tempo. Not a lot of Freeze decks out on the ladder. Okay, so definitely Tempo. That's probably honestly just worth killing. On turn 2, he could coin out the Flame Waker, but that would just feel like a terrible play to me. And we'd have another Stormcrack anyway. So, I think that's worth saving some life, right? It's technically outside of Lightning Storm range. We don't have a lot of stuff to do anyway. Oh, so this is Cthulhu Mage. That's pretty cool. I can respect. I kind of want a Hero Power and just like Lightning Bolt that next turn. It's just 2 damage. It might kill my totem. It might go face. Like, it's not as scary as the mana Worm can potentially be. So I don't really feel as compelled to deal with it right away. So Lightning Storm. I don't know if it ever gets better than this. To tell you the truth, does it ever get better? can hero power lightning bolt, I guess. That actually makes my thing from below a little cheaper, so I guess we'll just keep this line of play going. That actually works out because it contests the disciple here. I just don't know that this lightning storm is ever going to get value. Cthulhu Mage, I don't know what the list is going to look like, but it could be a number of things. He may have some good polymorphs to answer our big bodies and stuff. This will be another good lightning storm if he pings. Coin 3-drop. Coin Twilight Elder. Coin Arcane Intellect. This might still be a good lightning storm. He didn't ping though, so we're probably going to get a free trade here. So now I don't think lightning storm feels all that compelling. But what else can we do, right? When else are we going to lightning storm? Probably never. We have 2 hexes for big stuff. We could play the thing from below trade, but then I feel like it's just a little too susceptible to that spell damage. I'm just going to lightning storm, guys. I think it's fine. We have this too. We have a lot of ways to remove things. We're going to have 4 mana next turn, so... We need a couple more proactive minions. I'd really like to see one of my 6-drop Death Rattles soon, for instance. So this is like a pretty early curved Cthulhu deck, honestly. 2 Ancestral Spirits is just not that great. Could Stormcrack it, but it feels like overkill. I guess we'll play the thing from below. Maybe we'll bait out a Fireball, maybe a Frostbolt trade. Something of that nature. I would have liked to hero power too, but this stuff is just so reactive. Or these are not even reactive, they're just greedy. Just super greedy. I could have cast one on this, but it's a Frostbolt trade, that's right. That's fine. He's not even gonna trade. That's it's kinda risky. Do I cast Ancestral Spirit on this guy? I think I do. Let's hero power to see if we get the healing. It's not healing, but it's fine. We can Lightning Bolt this. Ancestral Spirit this. And we'll summon me a 2-mana 5/5. I think that's sort of okay. He probably runs Flame Strike. But the way this works is both are never going to be up at the same time. Well, no, they will both summon at the same time if I cast it twice. Could hex that, but I think I need to save a hex for Cthulhu, clearly. Let's just do it and see what happens, right? No harm in trying. So you can trade Flame Strike, but I would be left with 2 1-health 5-attack minions, which wouldn't be that great for him. Blizzard wouldn't really help much either. Killing this is like, this is the best Nerubian egg ever. Oh no, Polymorph's not good though. Shoot. But that's okay, because we do have still a Sylvanas and a bunch of really crazy good cards. So I don't even really mind that. Probably trade Stormcrack. That's kind of a reasonably high attack minion, so it's sort of valuable, right? If you play something good, we can Faceless Manipulator or Hex. Imagine if he Cthuns and we Faceless Manipulate a giant Cthulhu and then Hex it. That's going to be fun. Why did he whoops? What happened? Yeah, that's kind of tough to deal with. It's not really Faceless Manipulator worthy, but... There's a Cairn finally. I think I'll just play Cairn into these guys and see what happens. The Polymorph actually really hurt. Maybe we should have just cast 1 Ancestral Spirit. But he can't Cairn, he can't Polymorph Cairn, he can't Polymorph Sylvanas now. Well, I mean, he'll has one other, but you know what I mean. He's gonna run out of Polymorphs eventually. He's gonna start going face here. I find that pretty smart. A Lightning Storm wouldn't look too bad. Elemental Destruction would look even better. Because I don't want to have to hex this stuff. Halaziel doesn't actually help right now. He's just too slow. Because I don't have any actual damage spells. Double Hex just leaves me in a nightmare zone for Cairn. And I'm probably actually just dead to Cairn at that, or not Cairn, Cthulhu. Double Hex leaves me in a just no response to Cthulhu, but I might be dead anyway if I don't double Hex. Could Faceless Manipulator one of these to give myself a body. Could play Halaziel for a body as well, but then I can't make any good trades. Could Faceless Cairn, but then I just take so much damage. I think I have to Hex just to take the 8 damage off the board. It's really not good, but my god, I think I have to. Taunt Totem was what I wanted, but we didn't even get that, man. Cthulhu probably kills us. I haven't been watching his Cthulhu very closely. Does anyone know what his Cthulhu is at? Not that you could tell me if you did. Faceless Manipulator might win us the game here soon, depending on what he does. Is that a Cthulhu? Yeah. 17. It does kill us because he's got 5 on board. So. Oh, it actually didn't. We've got 6. Halaziel. I just don't think we have any way to. We don't have any way to deal with this. We can't taunt our copied Cthulhu, man. Healing Wave doesn't do it either because Cthulhu hits way too hard, right? But we'll do this for fun at least. If only we had and what's the? I don't even know the name of the card. Where you restore a minion to full health and give it taunt. It wouldn't even matter. We'd still actually be dead. But if we got the taunt totem, we still would have died. We didn't even win that roll. That's pretty tough. Yeah, so that game our hand was just super awkward. We didn't have what we needed when we needed it. None of the good minions. The polymorph hurt a lot as well, but we just had a really reactive hand, and we didn't have anything to react to. We needed a few more of the proactive cards. Another thing from below, a couple lightning storms or something, you know. Even an elemental destruction would have helped later, but in the early game we just didn't have anything to do. No card draw either, so we're out of gas. So that was a tough loss, but still pretty cool deck. As long as you don't draw totally nightmarishly like we did there. A lot of potential in this deck, and clearly insanely fun. We didn't get any of the cool, amazing Ancestral Spirit combos with N'Zoth, but you still did see that in effect with Chillmaw essentially shutting out that warrior completely. And now just imagine if we played N'Zoth and got 12-12 and taunts just magically alongside our 5-7. That would have been pretty cool. So that's going to wrap it up for me and the N'Zoth Shaman by Purple. Definitely recommend this deck if you've got the crazy arcane dust required to craft it, because it is pretty darn cool. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, game on.